Alexander Paul Burton. To some, he's a self-proclaimed entrepreneur and online personality. But look a little closer, and the cracks begin to show. From inflated claims, to manufactured credibility, to whispers of a lawsuit that could change everything, Burton's story isn't the glossy picture he wants you to believe. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll expose the lies, trace the paper trail, and reveal how one man's attempt to build an empire online may actually be built on nothing but smoke and mirrors. This is the exposé Alexander Paul Burton doesn't want you to see. Join us as we read through the case filed against Burton, the Ontario Supreme Court of Justice. 1 orders requested. The applicant, Metropolitan Toronto Condominium Corporation, number 1053, also known as the condominium, applies for the following orders. Directing the respondent, Alexander Paul Burton or the occupant, to comply with the Condominium Act, 1998, the Act, the Condominium's Declaration, Rules and Bylaws, the governing documents, and the Occupational Health and Safety Act, the OHSA. B. Requiring Burton to cease and desist from any abusive, defamatory, or harassing conduct, whether on the condominium's property or directed toward the board of directors, management, or staff. C. Directing Burton to cease and desist from contacting the president of the board or any other director, directly or through their workplaces, and from contacting their respective employers. D. Directing Burton to immediately remove all online posts accusing the board, any director, or property management of dog poisoning, mafia connections, homophobia, xenophobia, or other discrimination, including without limitation on Facebook, Reddit, Google, or any other platform. E. Directing Burton to cease and desist from making any further defamatory commentary about the condominium, its directors, or property management on social media. F. Directing the respondents, Donato and Maria Catenacci, the owners, to require that their tenant and Burton comply with the Act, the condominium's governing documents, and the OHSA, and to cease the above behaviors. G. Directing the owners to require that the tenant and Burton comply with the Act, the condominium's governing documents, and the OHSA, and to cease the above behaviors. H. Costs of this application on a full indemnity scale. I. Prejudgment interest in accordance with Section 128 of the Courts of Justice Act, RSO 1990, CC 43, as amended. J. Post-judgment interest in accordance with Section 129 of the Courts of Justice Act. K. Such further and other relief as this honorable court may deem just. 2 grounds for the application. 2.1 Parties and property. The condominium is a residential condominium corporation located municipally at REDACTED, created by registration of the Declaration on May 12, 1993. It is comprised of 1,556 residential units and appurtenant common elements, all legally described as Metropolitan Toronto Condominium Corporation, number 1053. It goes by the branding name REDACTED. B. The respondent, Donato Catenacci, is the registered owner of the unit at REDACTED. The unit, within Metropolitan Toronto Condominium Corporation, number 1053. C. The respondent, Maria Catenacci, is the registered owner of the unit. D. The respondent, Peter Loriobahan, is the tenant, and an occupant of the unit. E. The respondent, Alexander Paul Burton, is an occupant of the unit. 2.2 Burton's May and June 2024 conduct. Burton repeatedly and continually harassed the president of the board, other directors of the condominium, and property management, including Julie Davey, collectively. The targeted individuals with disparaging and defamatory online posts and other messaging, as well as through the president's workplace. On May 25, 2024, Burton posted in a public Facebook group, the Humber West Dog Park Association Facebook group, the May Facebook posting. The post contained the following statements, accusing the board of homophobia. I live at REDACTED, and I'm having some issues with intrusive neighbors and a board of directors who are trying to imply that I am unable to use facilities due to hygiene reasons. I believe that the board of directors is trying to link the above issue of non-contagious, benign canine yeast infection to my use of the hot tub, pool, and other facilities. Essentially, there are homophobic undertones to my use of the hot tub and sauna. I believe the board are trying to victimize, me as a gay person, because they don't like gay people using facilities such as the hot tub with their gay friends. I feel like I am being set up and a victim of nosy neighbors and homophobic undertones that are not pleasant. Prior to the May Facebook posting, no director had any knowledge of Burton's dog's medical condition. The board became aware of Burton's sexual orientation only through the posting. It had not been previously disclosed. No director of the condominium has ever met or communicated with Burton, nor would they be able to properly identify him. On May 28, 2024, the condominium required Burton to permanently remove the May Facebook posting and to publish a clear retraction. He failed or refused to do so. On or around June 2024, Burton uploaded disparaging commentary on the condominium's Google review page, the June posting. Bad management and board of directors. Many other residents actually feel the same. The responses to other bad reviews demonstrate their lack of maturity when dealing something sick as critical as management of a building. It's no wonder other buildings are winning awards for being top condors or more luxurious. But clearly there are systemic issues with management and the board of directors. Simply being defensive toward residents who have concerns is not helpful. Perhaps actually listen and learn. It's also quite alarming that the board would want to stifle free debate in a country with laws around freedom of speech. Google owns this profile, not the board, and it's interesting how defensive the responses are. Potential buyers and future residents ought to pay heed to this. A building and its sick management serve the residents within. Any potential future resident would do well to consider this. On June 3, 2024, the condominium issued a letter to Burton requiring him to immediately and permanently cease the defamatory behavior by removing the June posting by 5:00 p.m. on June 5, 2024. Burton refused or neglected to comply. By emails dated May 21 and June 5, 2024, Burton reported an incident relating to a hot tub booking on May 20, 2024, on condominium property. He alleged that he was aggressively confronted by other residents who claimed to have booked the hot tub and told him he had not booked it. He claimed he was treated like filth and called security for assistance. On June 6, 2024, after investigation, property management informed Burton he was appropriately denied use of the hot tub because he had booked it incorrectly. The hot tub is a shared amenity. Up to 6 people can reserve it for the same date and time. To property management's knowledge, only Burton misunderstood how the system worked. 2.3 Burton's October 13, 2024 harassment campaign against the directors and management. On October 13, 2024, Thanksgiving Sunday, after months without interaction with property management, Burton made several harassing and disparaging comments about property management and the board of directors, with a focus on the president of the board, across various online platforms and communications. Burton emailed property management, alleging that the president of the board had poisoned his dog and was linked to the mafia. Roman 2, Burton posted to the Humber Bay Shores discussion group about the president of the board, including accusations of xenophobia, homophobia, and anti-Semitism. Roman 3, Burton contacted the president of the board directly through his workplace, Royal Lepage, and sent the following message. "You are the reason I have ended my life. You are homophobic and corrupt. Thanks for ending my life. Hop was sick. Do you feel about suicide? Does it me sick you happy?" Roman 4, Burton posted a disparaging review of REDACTED on the South Etobicoke Facebook page, and the Toronto Apartments Houses buy-sell rent page. V. Burton posted on the Toronto real estate Reddit community page, accusing the targeted individuals of corruption, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and poisoning his dog. The post stated, "Hi there. I live at REDACTED and facing Jew-hated and homophobia from the board of directors. I'm not sure why he hate Jewish, gay people, but here we go. I have to deal with it and have been pushed out of the building. Does anyone know why the board and corrupt president hate me? Can I get a good lawyer? My advice, don't use Luke and avoid him as a realtor. He poisoned our dog because I am gay and Jewish. I literally have to move because of the corrupt, Jew-hating management company. Literally in tears because of how I have been treated. Do not invest REDACTED. It is the new ICE condos." Approximately 1 hour later, Burton posted again in the same subreddit, entitled, "Homophobe and Anti-Semitic. Do not buy REDACTED." The post was ultimately removed by Reddit. Burton then publicly commented on the president's professional Instagram page, citing his Reddit comments. "Lol, looks like your true colors are on being shared on Reddit. Happy Thanksgiving, you knob." Also on October 13, 2024, in response to a general announcement sent by property management to residents on October 11, 2024, Burton emailed property management. The email contained the following harassing and upsetting comments, spelling as in original. "The safe community. You mean you don't want to have anything to do with homosexual, foreign clients? Thanks for the insult. Your management company is absolute toss. Thanks for making my life a living hell due to your homophobia. Thank you for making me depressed and hate existing. Thank you. Young can deal with the suicide, Michael. If I die, will you be happy? Maybe you and Luke can have a party because you killed the gay, foreign, British, Swiss person. Well done." Shortly thereafter, Burton emailed property management again with further harassing comments, accusing the property manager of racism, xenophobia, and homophobia, and including threats of self-harm. "Maybe I'll jump from the roof. Would you be happy, then, you racist, xenophobic, and homophobic person? Thank you." Burton emailed numerous individuals within the condominium community, including the property manager, security, signature services, concierge, and the tenant of the unit. The email contained further harassing and defamatory language about the president of the board and the condominium. "I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to formally express my grave concerns and experiences related to the conduct of name omitted, whose actions have severely impacted my well-being, safety, and dignity. It is deeply troubling that such behavior is not only tolerated but allowed to flourish, causing harm to innocent people and their loved ones. I would like to bring to your attention several incidents that underscore the seriousness of the situation. Firstly, I was subjected to blatant discrimination, including homophobia, xenophobia, and anti-Semitism, at the hands of name omitted and his associates. I experienced derogatory comments and harmful stereotypes directed at me, which left me feeling unwelcome and marginalized in a space where I should have felt secure. Such behavior has no place in our society, yet it was openly exhibited by someone in a position of authority. Secondly, due to this harassment and hostile environment, I was forced to move to a different building. This move, driven by discriminatory behavior, was not only inconvenient but emotionally draining. It was clear that name omitted and his group targeted me not just because of my identity, but as part of a larger pattern of unethical and unlawful behavior. In addition to the discrimination I faced, my beloved pet was poisoned. I have reason to believe that this heinous act was carried out by name omitted or someone connected to him. This incident not only caused me immense emotional pain, but also raised serious concerns about my safety. No one should have to fear for the lives of their pets or themselves due to the malicious actions of others. I am also alarmed by the corrupt practices that name omitted engages in. I have come to understand that he operates in connection with a mafia-like organization, using his power and influence to exploit vulnerable individuals. His dealings go beyond the scope of real estate, involving criminal elements and unethical conduct, which I believe should be thoroughly investigated. I trust that this matter will be taken seriously and that appropriate action will be taken to ensure that such discriminatory and corrupt behavior is not tolerated in our community. I am prepared to provide further details and evidence of these occurrences if necessary. Thank you for your attention to this matter. In addition to sending this letter to the above recipients, Burton posted it publicly in 2 separate Facebook comments on groups related to Toronto real estate and on the condominium's Google review page. He also sent it directly to the president of the board via Facebook direct message. Both Facebook comments were removed upon the condominium's request to Facebook. Burton repeated his harassing comments on 10 different Facebook photos posted by the president of the board in connection with units for sale at the condominium, writing, "Can gay Jewish people live here, or will they be targeted? What is your policy on accepting gay, foreign, and Jewish people? Interested to know the building policy on that. Thanks." The president of the board received multiple messages from individuals alerting him to the comments being posted about him online. On October 13, 2024, property management contacted the police out of concern for Burton's welfare and his threats of self-harm. Police attended Burton's unit that morning and reported finding him highly intoxicated from alcohol and drugs. Following the police attendance, the condominium became aware that Burton had filed a complaint against the president of the board with the Real Estate Council of Ontario. On October 13, 2024, the condominium, through its lawyers, instructed Burton to immediately remove his harassing comments about the president of the board, and the condominium, to permanently cease and desist from posting future harassing comments, and to cease approaching or communicating with the president of the board or any director, including through their workplaces, unless expressly invited. Burton refused to comply and instead threatened legal proceedings against the condominium. On October 15, 2024, it came to the board's attention that the tenant attempted to post harassing and disparaging comments on the president's REDACTED blog. The account was blocked and commenting was turned off. The comments were unintentionally deleted in the process. On October 16, 2024, Julie Davey, manager of Signature Services, concierge professional affiliate, Les Clefs Door Canada, returned to work from vacation. Davey is employed by the condominium as manager of concierge services. She found a number of emails from Burton in her inbox. These emails were written between 6:57 a.m. and 8:38 a.m. on Sunday, October 13, 2024. The emails were intended to be sent to residents who had posted classified advertisements on REDACTED's website. However, they required Davey's approval before posting. The first email was sent by Burton in response to Davey's out-of-office message. Davey found it threatening, offensive, and harassing. "You want return. You hate gay people." Burton also submitted the following posts for approval on the REDACTED website. Posting, "Homophobic and xenophobic. I don't need to say anything in detail about corruption. We all know who is corrupt here, and homophobic. Thanks for making me commit suicide, Luke, you are disgusting." Posted by Alex Burton on Sunday, 13 October 2024 06:57:00. As well as the following. "Are gay people allowed? Are foreign people allowed, or will Luke get his mafia to sort me out? Disgusting and anti-Semitic." Burton sought to make similar comments to residents with advertisements under several categories. One post included the following text. Posting, "Antisemitism and homophobia. I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to formally express my grave concerns and experiences related to the conduct of name omitted, whose actions have severely impacted my well-being, safety, and dignity. It is deeply troubling that such behavior is not only tolerated but allowed to flourish, causing harm to innocent people and their loved ones. I would like to bring to your attention several incidents that underscore the seriousness of the situation. Firstly, I was subjected to blatant discrimination, including homophobia, xenophobia, and antisemitism, at the hands of Name Omitted and his associates. I experienced derogatory comments and harmful stereotypes directed at me, which left me feeling unwelcome and marginalized in a space where I should have felt secure. Such behavior has no place in our society, yet it was openly exhibited by someone in a position of authority. Secondly, due to this harassment and hostile environment, I was forced to move to a different building. This move, driven by discriminatory behavior, was not only inconvenient but emotionally draining. It was clear that Name Omitted and his group targeted me not just because of my identity, but as part of a larger pattern of unethical and unlawful behavior. In addition to the discrimination I faced, my beloved pet was poisoned. I have reason to believe that this heinous act was carried out by Name Omitted or someone connected to him. This incident not only caused me immense emotional pain, but also raised serious concerns about my safety. No one should have to fear for the lives of their pets or themselves due to the malicious actions of others. I am also alarmed by the corrupt practices that Name Omitted engages in. I have come to understand that he operates in connection with a mafia-like organization, using his power and influence to exploit vulnerable individuals. His dealings go beyond the scope of real estate, involving criminal elements and unethical conduct, which I believe should be thoroughly investigated. I trust that this matter will be taken seriously, and that appropriate action will be taken to ensure that such discriminatory and corrupt behavior is not tolerated in our community. I am prepared to provide further details and evidence of these occurrences if necessary. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Posted by Alex Burton on Sunday, 13 October 2024 08 38 00. 2.4. No basis for the harassing conduct. At all material times, the president of the board and all other members of the board have neither met nor communicated with Burton in any capacity. B. Burton's perceptions of dog poisoning, board mafia connections, antisemitism, homophobia, or discrimination in relation to the conduct of the directors and/or property management have no basis in reality. C. The conduct is unwelcome by the targeted individuals, who feel harassed solely because of their connection to the building. D. Burton has been given ample warning and opportunity to correct his behavior, but he continues to disregard the act. His behavior has escalated. As a result, Burton has I. Created a fearful and unpleasant working and living environment for the targeted individuals. Roman 2. Threatened the president's licensing as a real estate agent, thereby threatening his livelihood. Roman 3. Interfered with the condominium's ability to maintain a safe living and working environment for the targeted individuals. Roman 4. Negatively impacted morale for the targeted individuals. V. Made it difficult for property management and the board of directors to carry out their duties without fear of further harassment. And Roman 6. Caused psychological injury contrary to Section 117 of the Act. 2. 5 statutory and governance obligations. Section 117 of the Act prohibits dangerous activities likely to cause damage to the condominium's property or cause injury to individuals. The condominium's rules prohibit unit owners, including the plaintiff, from engaging in abusive and harassing behavior. B. Burton's conduct has caused the condominium to incur costs. The governing documents require owners to indemnify the condominium for losses caused by acts or omissions of their tenants and occupants. C. The condominium has an obligation under Section 17(3) of the Act to enforce the Act and its declaration, bylaws, and rules. D. Under Part III of the OHSA, the condominium has a duty to protect its workers from workplace harassment, defined as engaging in a course of vexatious comment or conduct against a worker in a workplace that is known or ought reasonably to be known to be unwelcome. The tenant is in violation of the workplace violence and harassment provisions under the OHSA. E. The condominium relies on Sections 17(3), 117, 119, and 134 of the Act, Part III of the Occupational Health and Safety Act, RSO 1990, CO1 as amended, and Rules 14, 05, 2, and 38 of the Rules of Civil Procedure. 3. Evidence to be used at the hearing. A affidavit, S, to be sworn, together with the exhibits referred to therein, and B. Such further and other evidence as counsel may advise, and this honorable court may permit.